welcome to my Dreamcast. This is episode 1, The Murder. I'll just be explaining what happened in my dream and why I think everything happened, or all the stuff that I remember happened in my dream. So, it was like a really big sandy desert, and it's on some type of like road, and there are like a bunch of cactuses around me, cacti, and I was in this army jeep, and pretty far in front of me there was another army jeep, and I remember one of the people that I kind of recognized as somebody who I was like, somebody on my side. They were hiding under the back bumper and like holding on, hiding behind the back bumper. Real action movie-esque. And sometime between when I saw this person on the back bumper and when they started going, and we were in motion, going relatively quickly, and at first I thought people in the other army jeep, I thought that they were on my side as well, but there was a person in the back seat that popped up, and they reached down and grabbed this person's hair and brought her up, and they slit her throat. And it was, another kind of movie-esque moment where I'm like, no, how can you do that? So it's funny looking back on it, but it was so devastating in the moment. So the person that was driving my army jeep, they got me closer, and I jumped onto it, and I honestly don't remember what happened, but somehow I got the jeep like to go off the road, and there was like this big rock formation that I like jumped off and landed on the sand after a little scuffle with the murderer, and it like drove off into the rocks and crashed, bam, all the fire and stuff. But that wasn't the end, because it never ends. So after that, it turned into night. Like, it was really bright and sunny out, initially in the dream, but now it's like in the middle of the night, and they're these same people that aren't on my side. They're like my enemies. They're like coming up to me, and they're like interrogating me and being antagonistic in general. And I remember in the dream, I was kind of conforming and trying to like fit in with them so that I wouldn't be harmed myself, because again, like, I just watched one of my comrades that just got their throat slit. It was really crazy. So after that, though, I got away from the group of people that were being like really the bad people, you call them, and I got to my own people, and I started like being more like, I started to be myself again, and I started to be like anti my enemy, And then the dream switches up again, and there are these people coming over to me, and they're more of my enemies, but you'll never guess why they're my enemies. It's because, can you not? It's because they don't like gorillas, like the band. They don't like gorillas. That's why they're being mean to me, and they're like talking smack. So I'm like arguing with them and stuff, and I think I got into like a physical altercation with one of the people, and then and by the way, this is in like a desert town type setting, and I'm like arguing with this person in like the middle of the sandy road, and like while this is happening, the world, like the environment is kind of shifting, and there are these like trees that come up, and then there's like water fountains, and everything is kind of turning into stone, and like a lot more urban type, a lot more urban, what's the word, construction. So after this physical altercation, the person that I was arguing with, which is like this really big dude, it's kind of important because like just picture me getting in an altercation with this huge dude, and he just gets knocked out somehow, and I pick up this guy's, in my dream, I pick up this guy's unconscious body, and I am now in a skyscraper, and I take him, we're in like this stairwell, and there is an open window, and there's a policeman down in the parking lot. We're like very, very high up in the skyscraper. There's a policeman and a police car, like a bunch of different cars in the parking lot, and in my dream, I decide to throw this person out of the skyscraper window, and he falls, and it's like the sound of him hitting the ground is very clear, even as high as I am up in the window, and immediately I'm just hit with all of this regret, all of this, I don't think in the dream I was really feeling much guilt. It was just all regret, because I was afraid of being caught, and I don't know if it was hallucinating or if it was like playing over the speakers in like the skyscraper, but as I was running down the stairs trying to escape the building, I could hear this reporter sounding like she's on the verge of tears. She's like talking about what happened, saying that somebody threw someone out of a skyscraper, and they nearly hit somebody with the body of this person. And I got very close to the bottom of the skyscraper before I woke up, but that was all of the dream that I remember. As you can imagine, there's like very many reasons that this dream sticks out to me so much. I usually just don't have this violent of dreams, you know? Like I'm not one to be violent. And that was just, the things that I did in that dream were so out of character. It kind of shook me up after I woke up. Like, after I realized that nothing actually happened, I was fine. But like, having that experience of being someone to take someone's life, even if it was fictional, and like in my dream, it was a very, like, it was a very terrifying experience. And I think that part of the reason that I had this dream, I'm really not sure. I don't think that I could pin down a full, like, reason for the dream. But I do think that some of the aspects could be related to, like, things that I worry about in real life. So like me trying to fit in with my enemies by kind of temporarily adopting their mindset. I think that I really think that could relate to how some people have to pretend to be who they're not just so that they can stay safe. And that's something that I really hate in our society, and something that really worries me that I sometimes feel like I have to do. And lying about my identity in order to fit in and either be out of danger or to be accepted is something that, like, I have personal experience with as well. And I also think that maybe the first part of the dream could have been related to, like, my fear of loss, because I've lost a few people over the years, and I think that loss is one of the most terrifying things for me, and something that it really shakes me, and it takes me a really long time to recover. And maybe that could have been symbolic of either my fear of loss or just a way for my dream to, scare me even more, And I think also maybe my, like, violent outburst, like throwing that guy out of the skyscraper, that could be symbolic of my underlying fear of someday not being a pacifist, like someday. I think one of my biggest fears, at least pertaining to myself, is that I'll lose myself and my identity as, like, someone who tries to be as peaceful as possible, and someone who tries their best to, like, resolve issues with as little conflict as possible. Like, obviously, sometimes, like, conflict is kind of fun, but not like, I've never enjoyed physical conflict. I don't think I've ever had any type of physical conflict either, but, yeah, I think that might have just been symbolic of my fear, I guess, of myself, and how I'm scared that someday the values that I hold so dear and close to my heart could be lost in a moment of, I wouldn't call it passion, but a moment of poor judgment and like high emotion. I guess you could call it passion. But that's all I really wanted to talk about. And I'll probably make another episode or two. I have really enjoyed telling you about my dream. And if you are still listening, thank you for watching my video. And thank you for listening to me talk about my dream. I hope you enjoyed, and I hope to see you in another